Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Dennis Duke is my name. If you're new here, please ensure you subscribe. Today we want to answer a question that a lot of farmers out there continue to have challenges with, and that's how to start up a farm. In this particular video, we're not being particular with a venture. Take for example how to start goat farming, how to start rabbit farming, how to start maize growing or banana growing, piggery or chicken. In this video, we are just talking about starting up a farm. We are giving you the basics that you need to put in place to see that you actually start up a successful farm. If you're new here, please endeavor to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on different social media platforms at Dennis Duke UG. That is on Twitter, Facebook, and of course on Instagram. See you in a bit. I told you in one of my recent videos that the next set of billionaires are going to be farmers, and I have no doubt that I'm going to see that come to pass. At least if you don't believe, I'm going to be one, a billionaire from agriculture. And that's why I'm investing a lot of money and a lot of time in this thing called agriculture. Now, just in case you're wondering whether you should join farming or you shouldn't, please do join farming. But before you join farming, you need to do a couple of things that I'm going to discuss in this particular video. But also I want to let you know that agriculture is one of the most, if not the most important industry in the whole world, because it has, helped economies recover from recession, helped economies grow, revolutionized the industrial sector, because without agriculture, then the industries will die. Without agriculture, we can't have humanity, because then we won't have food. Without agriculture, some families may not be in position to actually earn a living. Without agriculture, there's quite a lot that is at stake. That's why we make these videos, to encourage more people, to encourage young people to start up farming or to join the agriculture sector. But without wasting time, let's now go into the small steps that one should take to start up a farm. Step number one is choose something to produce. Choose something to do. What do I mean by choosing something to do? There are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of ideas out there in farming. And now you need to sit back on the table, and then you choose or you select a product, you select an activity, you select a produce that you want to venture in. You could select goat farming, you could select sheep farming, you could select cattle farming, you could select chicken or rabbits, or you could choose to go and grow crops. Now, the first step into starting up a farm is ensuring that you choose something that you want to do for your farm. A lot of farmers out there choose something and then they don't first seek knowledge in understanding the ins and the outs, or the downs and the ups of that particular business that they've gone into. Now, each particular business that you choose or product that you choose has specific ins and outs, or downs and ups, or cons and pros that you actually need to be aware of. In fact, the first thing that you should do after selecting that product is to do what we call research. Visit farmers, go to different farms, let them take you through the basic knowledge that you need to understand about that particular product that you'll have chosen to start your farm with. The third thing that you need to do is to figure out where you are going to get the money to start up your farm. Ladies and gentlemen, if you choose to go commercial, which of course I encourage more people to start farming commercially, it means some costs are going to get involved. And these costs may not necessarily be huge, depending on what you want to start with. But minimum of somebody that wants to do something that can give them some money could maybe perhaps start with $10,000 US. 10,000 US dollars is some good money. But even without that, you can still start up, a farm. So now you need to figure out, where am I going to get money to start up this farm? Am I going to get a loan? Am I going to get from my savings? Am I teaming up with a colleague? I'm going to come up with a video on how to show people on how to get finances, or how to finance their agriculture activities. There are lots and lots of companies out there, lots of banking institutions that are willing to support farmers. But because people do not know of these available opportunities, governments are willing to support farmers who want to start up something. But because you do not have access, you don't even know access to information, it becomes a little bit hard for you to access some of these grants, some of these finances. So that is why I'll make that specific video to enlighten you. So you need to figure out where you're going to get your money to start up the farm. Point number 4 is purchase your property, purchase land. Now, I have a particular video explaining what you need to do when you want to choose land and how to choose good land for farming. Now, buying your property is one step away from actually establishing a farm. However, it's not a must that you need to buy land. You can actually get land on lease. You can actually rent land out from somebody who has, chunks of land that is lying idle, and then you utilize that. The only downside with getting land and renting is that you may not be in position to do some of the permanent structures or permanent utilities that you want to have on that land, because it will then mean that you're spending money, but at the end of the day, this person could wake up in the morning and sell that land or change their minds, yet you've invested a lot in that particular land. So what you need to do, either you get it on lease for about 90 years, or even if it's 50 years, then you can make, permanent structures or permanent utilities on that particular land. But the best would have been, of course, buying your property, buying your land. Now, the beauty with buying your land is that you're investing money already. Buying land is investing money in the sense that even if at a later stage you get tired or you get caught up, you can still resell this land and get money out of it, and your profits from the land will equally have increased over time. So it's also an investment on its own. So after you've bought, your land, you then start how to implement, and that's of course strategizing. That's point number 5, strategizing, and of course preparing. So how do you plan to prepare the land on your small farm? This will definitely depend on what you're going to grow, raise, or producing. So if you're growing crops, you have to ensure the fertility of your land. You may spend a few years, applying natural fertilizers or chemical fertilizers, among many other things. During your agriculture education for small businesses, you'll also learn what we call crop rotation. You'll also get to know, do I need irrigation on this land, If you're raising animals, or if you intend to raise animals, do I have or have I planted enough pastures that my animals are actually going to feed on? So point number 6 is implementing your business plan. Now, implementing the business plan, some people start up farming without having actually a business plan, and that's suicidal, because then you don't know the prospects of that particular business. Business plans are usually developed by people like me who are perhaps in that particular line of business that you want to do. Please spare a few shillings, a few dollars here and there to get a proper, well-designed business plan that suits your financial needs, that suits your financial muscle, so that you're in position to know that, hey, if I started with 50 goats, how long will it take me to get this amount of money? How long will it take me to get this amount of kids? How long will it take me, or how much will it take me, among many other things that the business plan ensures to answer. So now, after strategizing and preparing, it is time to implement that business plan that you got. Now, get to learn the specifics of the business plan if you need it to be, explained to you, among others. Remember to have backup options so that you're covered no matter what happens, because the business plan literally gives you projections. But that's not usually what is on ground, because usually on ground things can be a little bit different and quite difficult sometimes. So you need to have what we call a backup plan before you actually implement your farming business plan. Point number 7 is develop your product. Now that you have started your product, in the sense that you're implementing it through the farming business plan, you need to do a couple of things to develop your product. So here what I'm simply trying to say is develop your product. Most of us want to sell products in that original shape or original form. You can try by adding value to these products, because then value addition is the way to go, because it increases the amount of money that somebody is going to spend actually consuming that product. Take, for example, coffee. If you sold coffee in its raw form, they'll buy it cheaply. But if you did value addition and maybe you processed it somehow, it's going to be costly on the market, and you're going to earn a little bit more. So learn to develop your product by actually learning to add value to it, among many other things. And now the last point, after you have actually developed your product, it is now time to market your product. You started up this farm, you followed up all the things that you're supposed to do. It is now time to market your product. So how do you market your products? Because at the end of the day, like I told you, I want to do farming as a business, and I equally advise people to do farming as a business. So how do you market your products? A lot of farmers continue to ask me, is there a market for rabbit? Is there a market for rabbit meat? And that's the one question that I usually get. The answer to that is simple. Market your products. And marketing your product does not necessarily mean that you have to run to and make a TV advert or a radio advert to market your products. No, you need to start with what resources are available. When you are coming from maybe a distance, try to talk to people within the village. Usually the people in the village should be or need to be your first clients before you reach out to a bigger audience. Utilize the people in your community, market your products in the community, then other people will equally market your product if at all those products are good. They've been produced and developed properly, okay? So market your products using social media. We have social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, Instagram, and now YouTube or even TikTok. Please ensure you market your products, because at the end of the day, if you do not market, how will we know that you have cabbages? How will we know that you have tomatoes? How will we know that you have rabbits? So marketing goes a long way in ensuring that you have a successful farming career. And I will tell you, if you follow those steps properly, you're not going to make any mistakes, and you're going to become, or you're going to be added on the list of the people that want to become billionaires via farming. Until then, it's a goodbye. My name is Dennis Duke Onyala. Have a lovely time.